today, let's just go straight to the point. We got you covered from the state level to the federal level, on which are concerns about the state actions, federal government approach, the economic relief, security, and overall management of the pandemic. You just name it. We have Honorable Segun Olulade, a former Lagos State House of Assembly member, Ekpe constituency, in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for creating time, even though we are still practicing social distancing because it's very paramount at the moment. Yeah. And definitely we'll also have the SSA to the presidency, Ajuri Ngelale. I hope I pronounced that well, but once I connect to him, he will be joining our phone lines for the public to engage them on the current issues and their concerns on what has been going on at the moment. However, we'll be going straight to the talk of the day, the business of the day. Let's give a warm welcome again to our honorable who have taken time out to share part of his evening with us today. It's a pleasure and a relief to have you in our show, in our studio today. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. I would say I'm welcome home.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah. So aside the introduction I just gave regarding you, is there any brief introduction you want to add to what I've just shared now about?
Well, all I would just say is that I'm not yet a member of House of Rep.
Okay.
But I was a former member of Lagos State House of Assembly.
Yes.
And a former chairman, House Committee on Health.
Okay.
Also, I was also a former chairman, House Committee on Information, Security, Strategy, and Publicity in Lagos State.
Thank you so much for joining. See, he's the right person to bring in the studio today because we have a lot to bombard him today regarding all sorts of things happening in House of Assembly and all of that. And he's the right person to help us shed light on all of this. So recently, the food support and relief program that has kick-started in Lagos, how can we trust its efficiency and the reach to all grassroots regions where they are really needed? Tell us what you think, if these measures are actually the right one.
Well, I would say it's the right one, and I must commend the Lagos State Governor and the government of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, for coming up with that initiative. Mm-hmm. He's been fantastic with this issue, and we must commend him for that. Yeah. I before coming here, I was just coming from the base where this distribution was going on from the Ministry of Agriculture. And you will see the massive movement of foodstuffs to different areas of Lagos. We know there might be some hiccup in some areas. We are aware that people will take advantage once they have one slight opportunity. And the organization is perfect, but it's just that those who are distributing it and those who are receiving it must be ready. They must cooperate with the government. Because you see people, when they bring foodstuff to a particular area, everybody want to rush it, everybody want to be a bit disorderly. But what we will say is that once we can just follow the instructions, it will get to everybody.
So when you speak about instructions and we are talking about orderliness, it's sad that during this lockdown, we've seen a lot of people trying to share. How do you, first of all, know the right people to share cooked food to, and the other people that you need to share uncooked food for? No. Because I understand that there are a lot of these people, whether we like it or don't even have a roof over their heads. So how are you sharing uncooked food to all these people when they don't even have stove, if that's the right word to use now, to cook this meal?
Well, let me say this. We have, Lagos State government has established several means of getting to the grassroots. There are people who are especially, when I told I was just coming from the food base where they are distributing those food. Now, there I saw some physically challenged people.
Exactly.
That they were there, they were being given. I saw it myself.
So they are being given. Are they being given cooked food, or they are being given just raw food?
They are not being given cooked food.
Okay.
They are not being given cooked food. Mm-hmm. And there are other complementary support that individuals, corporate bodies are doing to support what the government are doing. Government can't handle everything. We are talking about close to 15 million people here in Lagos that we can classify in that category that might need food, that are doing daily jobs, having daily income. So you will know that it is not easy for government to be able to track them. More so, we have issue with data in this country.
Exactly.
So we must first of all understand that the government is facing a lot of challenges, and those challenges is making it difficult to reach out to those who will need it. But we have what they call the CDC, the CDA, the political structures, the local government people, the councillors, so everybody is working with one another to ensure that it get to the right people.
All right, thank you. Even though I don't think I feel satisfied with that, but
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
But I will come
it's
to
not
the
a perfect system.
Exactly.
Like I said, we are having
I'm not satisfied with that structure, but I know that the next question, before I ask you the next question, it is important for me to connect to the SSA, to the president on public affairs on the line. Mr. Ajuri, thank you so much for joining us today. Hello.
Good evening, Kike. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. So, Ajuri, let's just go straight to the point. The president, in his recent address to Nigerians, said the federal government is taking two-step approach. Can you kindly break down the economic approach of the government for me, please?
There are there are two major aspects of the president's address, and both of them are equally important. You have the public health side, the response, and then you have the economic response.
Yeah, correct.
I think it's very, very important for us to address the public health issue before we get to the economic, because if we don't address that, then the economic issues are going to really not be very, very important.
Yes.
So this is where we are. When we started out this crisis, we had 5 molecular evaluation laboratories under the NCDC. It's your ability to test people and contact trace and all of that. It comes back to your ability to have available infrastructure in your laboratories. So we have expanded within about 10 days from 5 laboratories around the country to 7, with the latest coming in Abakaliki, which has just been upgraded and activated. Now, last week, we were doing about 500 tests every day. By the end of this week, we'll be doing 1,000. By the end of next week, we'll be doing 1,500. And that's because we're expanding our laboratories. We had 17 before the end of next week. That should be by next Sunday, the upper Sunday, sorry. So where those are going to be is you're going to have new laboratories in Kano, Kaduna, Jos, Port Harcourt, Maiduguri, as well as Sokoto. So that's going to be the additional 6 that we're putting in place. Now, with that said, the other side of it is the isolation centers. We have to also make sure that we have the beds for the rehabilitation of those cases that are confirmed positive for coronavirus. So what we are doing is, in addition to the 100-bed facility that has former Onicom Stadium between GT Bank and the Lagos State government, we are going to enhance the capacity from about 110 beds, which is in Onicon, to about 1,000 beds within the next 10 days. That's in Lagos. In Abuja, we're going to do 200 beds. In Kano, we're going to do 500 beds. In Port Harcourt, we're going to do 210 beds.
AJ,
yes, please.
AJ, while I agree with you, I understand all this analysis and the breakdown you are giving us, or the public, so to speak. The reason why I went to the economic part of this question is because whether we like it or not, we might go into recession. We've seen the likes of America saying that they might not be able to come out of this because there might be recession after this. This is a developed country. So I'm asking you, as someone who is the PR to the presidency, the question is, what the economic team, what is the plan that you have put in place in order for us to be able to manage the recession that was going to take place after this pandemic?
All right. Thank you very much. There are a number of things that I needed to finish saying before I got to that. I wasn't going to run from that. That's very important. But I wanted to make sure that I finished what I was saying about our capacity to rehabilitate people. It's very, very important. The last point I was going to make is that we have 200 beds in Enugu as well. So by the time you put all of that together, you have the laboratories for testing, and you have the isolation centers for those who are confirmed eventually positive. Now, to the economy. The issue of the global economic recession That is a fact. That is taken for granted. We're not even in a place of we're saying maybe the globe is going to enter, I'm talking of the global average of GDP growth, is going to go into recession. It's not even a question anymore.
Yes.
The IMF and all the bodies have already come out to say we're definitely going into global recession if we are not already there. So that is not in question. Now, every economy, particularly those are tied directly to the efficacy and activity of global supply chains. Nigeria is not a silo. It does not operate independently. We sell our oil to China, to India, to all these countries. These are countries that consume our oil on the basis of their own internal production and activity. That's manufacturing and all of the others.
Yeah.
With the coronavirus, you had an immediate precipitous decline in productivity and activity in all of those countries.
Yeah.
So, of course, their consumption, their demand for oil just drops off the cliff. As a result, our oil suffered. As we speak right now, we have millions of barrels that are on the sea that we have even brought the price down beneath the global oil price to try and entice buyers.
All right, AJ, because of time, because we also have Honorable Segun Olulade in the studio as well, and I think it's important for me to quickly ask you another question. Don't worry, when our time bell changes, I'm definitely going to bring you to the studio. But I know that states all over the world are going, they have a timeline to the pandemic that we have on ground at the moment, to subside in these various countries. But do we have any timeline in Nigeria, especially in the prone regions of like Lagos and Abuja?
No, well, the president was very clear when he made his address that the first set of this partial lockdown is for 14 days. What we don't do, and you're citing the international examples. Even in those international examples, they know that they cannot say that by this day we are going to stop doing this. You remember Donald Trump tried that. He said that by Easter we're going to begin to bring people out of their houses and all of that.
Yeah, he said by Easter, on Easter Sunday to be precise.
Exactly, that's what he said.
Yeah.
But his medical professionals, the public health experts, said no, it's not possible. And now he has reversed himself. So the whole point is that you cannot put a time frame on something like this because the realities on the ground dictate what it is that you're going to do. And that is the same thing here in Nigeria. Fortunately for us, because we had taken proactive measures from airport screening and contact tracing from before.
When you say proactive measures, why did it take us this long to close our borders?
No, but this is the problem. We need perception. On what basis are you saying that we are late? If you have a situation where before the virus,
we could have minimized the impact if we had to shut out the border at the index case. Yeah, the index case levels. All right, go ahead.
Allow me.
Yeah.
Before the virus entered this country, what did the president do? He issued a special intervention fund of nearly 1 billion naira, which allowed us to even get the testing kits ahead of time, get the laboratories equipped ahead of time, and get the isolation centers that we're using upgraded ahead of time. That's where the index case was able to go to. So for us, the reason why the Italy and all these other examples that are cited, US, UK, that they have a full-blown crisis is because they didn't even after it had become a public health crisis, they had not even started even basic airport screening, if you will not believe it. But in this country, we were doing it even before the virus even entered the country. That is why you look at South African people, yet they are dealing with 1,300 confirmed cases. We have 200 million people, and we are dealing with 150 confirmed or 151 confirmed cases. The difference is clear. It's not because we have better health infrastructure than South Africa, but because we took very proactive measures ahead of all of these other people, we've been able to mitigate it as much as possible.
All right. Thank you so much for shedding more light on that. So, Professor Wale Soyinka reacted to Buhari's total lockdown order on the concerned state, saying he has no constitutional backing to do that. What do you have to say to that? I know that there are a lot of information out there, but let me just hear from you directly, being the public affairs personnel.
Yes, no, we responded to this. Different people have responded to this, but I think it's fair to acknowledge that as much as we respect the intellect and the achievements of Professor Soyinka, we also know that he's not a lawyer. So for us, it's very important for us to note that when we put out the regulation, the COVID-19 regulations that the president signed into effect, he cited exactly where he got the powers from. The act of the National Assembly that was cited that empowered him to take the action he took.
Yes.
Many SANs had come out in defense of the president, not because they're APC or anything like that, but because they know the foundation of the law. The vice president has also done so, and as a senior advocate, I think he is well positioned to be able to make that kind of determination. So I think really that is not the concern now.
Yes.
I think we need to also ensure that we are not using very serious matters of national crisis, international crisis, to begin to play very petty politics.
All right. Thank you so much for connecting with us via the phone lines today, AJ. Thank you for your contribution, and definitely we will bring you back after the whole pandemic, and you will be seated here in the studio with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
I very much look forward to that.
All right, so back to Honorable Segun Olulade. Thank you so much again for joining us, and we've all heard. I don't know if there's any contribution you have to add to what
I must give it to him. He's been able to explain what the government have been doing, and I think I feel satisfied with what I've heard. And we can also see what is going on around the world and compare with what has happened to us in Nigeria and how we've been able to address it. I think Nigerians should be proud of what this government have done with COVID-19.
Yes, I must give it to Governor Sanwo-Olu that he has been very proactive with when it comes to the health sector, these health challenges that we have.
I want to believe because his wife is a doctor.
Is
a doctor.
No. So she's been the one guiding him. I've tried to reach out to her, so we'll definitely have her in the studio very soon.
Very well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So recently, Professor Akin Abayomi said Lagos may be having 39,000 cases in worst case scenarios. What statistics do you think led to this for him to have given us that figure? What should Nigerians be expecting in the coming week, so to speak?
Yeah, what the statistic is very, very clear. It's possible for one person, a carrier, to have contact with 1 to 50 people before being discovered, and at the end of the day, those 50 people also have contact. So when you multiply that, the maximum as it is now that we could get to is 39,000. But we must also thank the government of Lagos State for being proactive. Even the lockdown that we are having today. Yeah. If not, because some of us are scared of the fact that if it gets to some certain level of people in this state, I don't know how we will be able to survive.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I was just coming and I saw some of these boys playing football on the road. I think we must discourage that. You go around and you see people.
And I thought a lot of measures put in place, because I saw a lot of soldiers and policemen and the likes and all of that. You have to show your ID card, if not because our own car is a branded media station. I don't think that would have been allowed to.
Yes, but when you go into the inner streets where we are scared of, where it is possible for the pandemic to get
easily spread across. You're right.
So you discover that especially those who are living in face me and face you houses, you discover that a lot of them do not really comply to with social distance and all sort of things. But with that, and with the level of how the state government and the local government in Lagos State have addressed this issue, they've been very, very proactive. In my opinion, in my own opinion, there are some communities that you see local government officials going in there to do fumigations and so on and so forth.
All right, thank you so much for that. So because I know we could not go on a break because of the caliber of the people that we have on the studio today, I would say that this is the time for me to call the people to join us on the phone line 0700 923 923 923. Again, 0700 923 923. Please kindly call us or share your thoughts via text message as well. You can send us a message on 0817 313 6193. And please, I will advise that that you should be brief on whatever message you would like to share with us. So before then, apparently we have the cases of this coronavirus patient rising from within 340% in the last 1 week. What is the government doing in this area of testing? What logistics are on ground for a state with over 22 million residents?
I think we still have a long way to go, and I think I must thank the corporate organizations, corporate bodies, and Nigerians who have come up to support the Lagos State government in providing some of these test kits.
Not just test kits, also money. I've been hearing billions, I've been hearing trillions, I've been hearing this. But out of curiosity, I must ask you, all this money that they are contributing, I'm sorry to say this, are they going to the right channel? Because when you said earlier, you said there are some structures in place when it comes to food distribution and all of that, which I will not satisfied when it comes to that response. But the question is, all this money, are we sure that they are using it for the right person?
Well, when we talk about Lagos State,
can you please hold your thoughts for a second? Please, we have a caller on the line. Hello. Oh, we lost that call. Hello. Hello. All right. So because of time, can you quickly answer the question I just asked you now?
Yeah. Let me be frank with you. In Lagos State government, I have confidence that the money will be accounted for.
Hello. We have another caller, please. Sorry, sir. Hello. Oh wow. I guess the network is quite bad at the moment. Hello. All the calls that have been calling in have just been cutting. Hello. All right, sorry. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Hi, what's your name and where are you calling from? Please, in 1 minute, please.
Yeah, Simeon, calling from Ngelale.
Okay. What's your contribution today?
You see what is happening in Nigeria now.
Hello? I can hear you. Go ahead.
I say the mistakes have already been done.
When you say the mistake have already been done, can you be specific, please?
Yeah, because these errors started right from November last.
All right, we lost that. All right, so go ahead, sir.
So like I was saying, I think in terms of that, I don't think Lagos State have an issue. We have the House of Assembly there to do oversight after the whole thing. They will still have to come back and render account on how the money is being spent.
All right, thank you so much, sir. We have another caller on the line. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from? Please, in few seconds.
Hello, good evening, ma.
Yeah, good evening. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Kike. I'm calling from Lagos State.
All right, go ahead, please. All right.
Yeah, based on what is happening in Nigeria now, I think the best thing government should do is that they should find a way to help the people that cannot be able to afford what they can feed themselves with. Because as it is now, people are suffering in this country. They should find a way to help the needs, because many of us don't have what to eat. Most especially those of us, some of those women and those men in the village, they don't have anything to eat, and they don't have someone that will come and help them tomorrow. That means they're not expecting anything from anywhere.
All right.
That's a solution to this.
All right. Thank you so much for that. I'm very sure you have something to say to
Yes, I must say that we all have a role to play in this.
Yes.
We can't just leave everything for government. Your little way, please share whatever thing you have to your next door neighbor.
To your neighbors. Thank you so much.
Very important.
So this will be my last question. I have loads of questions I thought I could have asked you, because I know that you're also a security man. There have been rising fears on security during this lockdown period. What is the government doing to ensure safety of Lagosians? I mean, I'm from Eko, and I know a lot of my family members have all been complaining about, armed robbers coming in here and that, and even burglars, even bringing down their shops. So what are the security people, what are you people doing regarding their lives and properties?
There is a lot of security issues that have been addressed by the Nigerian police and all other security agencies in the country. They are all working together in tandem with each other to ensure that there is security of lives and property. And I think we will not have issue of insecurity in this state, as far as I know, and I know that everything is going to come to normal.
Okay, I pray so. Anyways, because of time, we'll not be able to go ahead. But definitely, I'm going to bring you back to. He wrote a book a few months ago. I wish he had brought the books to the studio. But well, because of time, I will say many thanks for joining us today in the studio today.
It's my pleasure.
I feel very honored because I know that it's a challenging period at this time. But well, our closing remarks, courtesy Omoluabi personality from Goldberg, is Okpolokpikpe, which means intelligence. At this time of panic, where several false news are being spread around on the claims of cure or remedy for this virus, it is wise to note that nothing protects us more than verifiable knowledge and intelligence to stay away from irrelevant news of cure or prevention. I know that this period, it might be a big challenge for us, when it comes to, I've heard all sorts of things that people have said we can use apps and the likes and all of that. But anyways, there are a lot of slogans and also catchy words out there, but the only one that can say relates to me is the one that says that we are in it together. And definitely I will say that together apart, we can actually make an end to this pandemic at the moment. So until I come your way next week, please take care of each other and stay safe. Bye for now.